if they would have shown how Garlemald was destroyed and then you come into a ruined landscape afterwards, it would have made a lot more sense.
The fist fight with fucking Xenos as a Lalafell. It's wrong. I changed my race because of that. It was absolutely... It's like watching a T-Rex trying to punch someone.
That's what you see with all the other Ascians. Like, you know, these really deep stories. And then you just see this guy who literally does not give a fuck.
That's what the entire expansion is about. How do you deal with death and despair? That's it. That's what it's about.
Hello, and welcome to a surprise Alith-Cast. So I'm really hoping everyone can hear me this time because, yeah, we've done a lot of learning from the last time. So firstly, for my fellow co-hosts, can you guys all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Yep. Okay. That's a good start. Viewers, can you guys all hear us okay? I'm getting a thumbs up from Spicy, so I think we're good. Okay. I think we're good. Better than last time. We're learning. Good stuff. So this is a cheeky surprise cast. We didn't promote it. We didn't advertise it. So those of you who have been paying attention and following the channel and are joining us live, well done. You get to chat along. But for those who didn't, obviously you'll get to watch it when it goes up on the YouTube channel. So
you gotta remember to hit that bell icon for the next time.
Mm-hmm. Somebody send Hennek a check in the post, man. Honestly, he's only been here one episode. He already knows the drill.
Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe.
There we go. Perfect. Cool. All right. Well, welcome, Cristina, Hennek, Bad. Good to see you three. And obviously, we have Badgirly with us for the first time in Alith-Cast history. Is this your first time, Baddie?
Yeah, first time ever.
Are you feeling nervous or?
Yeah. Sure as hell.
Considering you're in voice chat more than all of us, Badgirly, this should just be natural for you now.
But that's different because then I'm just familiar talking to people and this is live on camera and I don't do camera stuff, so.
Well done. But you're in good company. You're in safe company, so it's all good, all good. Let's see who we've got in the chat. So, who we got? We've got Bob in the chat. Who else have we got? Zaker. Yes. Cool. Good stuff. So today's show, we are going to be talking about the recent patch that landed, which is, of course, patch 6.45. So it's a quick review show. It wasn't a massive patch, but we had a couple of meaty bits in there. So we're going to go through it and kind of get everyone's thoughts, experiences on what they have and what they haven't played. Hopefully we'll get some comments in the chat as well about how you guys have found 6.45. We're a week in now, so hopefully most people have sampled some of the content. I'll do a quick summary of what the content was that came with 6.45, and then I guess we'll go through it one by one. So the big one, I think, in my opinion, it's the big one, is of course the new variant and criterion dungeon, Mount Rockon. So pretty exciting. I'm sure we've got lots to talk about on that. That's our second variant and criterion dungeon, obviously after the Sildian Subterranean. I think that's what it's called, the first one. We also got Blue Mage updates, so more levels, a new outfit, new spells, new Masked Carnival stages, so we'll touch on that. We got our favorite quest line in the entire game, more Hildebrand. Christina's nodding because she actually believes it's the best quest.
Hey, it's not. I was nodding, but you were being so sarcastic. But it's a good one, okay? It's a good one.
Right, we'll talk about that. So we got new Hildebrand quests. Obviously, we also got new Mandeville weapon quest, which is the relic weapon quest line with another relic upgrade. And there was also another step in the Splendorous tools, which is basically relic crafting tools. So we'll touch on that as well. So yeah, it's a smaller patch, but there's a couple of big pieces in there. So I think we'll dive straight in. And let's start with the variant and criterion dungeon, Mount Rockon, because lots to talk about here. So firstly, from you guys on the cast, who's jumped in and tried it out yet?
I've done all of it. We did all of it almost the first night.
I didn't do all of it, but
we went hard on day one.
Yeah.
Okay,
I must admit, I've done my first run yesterday evening, and it was pretty nice. I like the theme, how it looks, everything. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, so let's dive in then. So who wants to go first and give your impressions? What have you done so far in it? We can just go around the group.
Okay.
Cristina seems eager.
Cristina, are you going first?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Go for it.
I am.
What
I am
did
so
you think?
happy because I loved it, and I really love the boss fights of the Variant Dungeon. I haven't been in the Criterion one, and I got on my second run. I got the Pupper Doggo. I got a little puppy minion, and I am so happy with it. And I got so sad because I heard that Belle got the same Pupper Doggo, and he went like, "Yeah, I got it as well. I sold it." I was like, "Dude, how heartless can you be? Why did you sell a puppy? Why?" And
Because I'm never going to use it.
Oh, it was worth a bunch of money. I was thinking about millions or something. He went like, "Oh, it was worth 200K. I sold it for 200K." I was like, "You why?"
It's going to be worth like,
Cristina,
it's going to... Sorry, go on, Hennek.
there's three
Okay,
different
2 or 3,
three different doggy minions. There's 3 different doggy minions you can get.
Don't tell her that.
I need them all. I need them all. I'm gonna spam. I'm gonna spam it until I just can't no more. And so I'm gonna sit here like, I'm gonna keep doing it.
Just a small suggestion. You should probably explore the middle path a bit, if you haven't done that already.
Thank you. I've been in there, but not enough, I think. Also, I really loved the middle path because we have this special stuff there for G-posing. And when I was in there with Belle, and I think Bat was there as well, and with Omega yesterday, I was a healer, by the way, and I just went like, "Ooh, this is a nice spot. Hang on, guys, don't die." And I was taking pictures because, God, it's so pretty in there.
Yeah.
And I also liked the boss.
It indeed has some wonderful G-post spots.
For sure. I said that the new Variant Dungeon is a bit like a dungeon made for selfie addicts, because there's so many spots in there where you can just stop and take G-pose pictures, like with the spring area up in the mountain, the bit where you've got the pagoda in the background, and there's just so many selfie spots.
All 3 paths are so very different as well. They got very different aesthetics going on, and they're all beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess I'll give my quick summary. So I really preferred it over the first one. I think, Hennek, you said the other day that it's almost like the first Variant Criterion Dungeon was like a test. They were testing out a new system, a new game mode. But this one, it feels a lot more fleshed out. The variation is a lot more obvious, and I don't know. For me, it played a lot more naturally than the first one. But also, I just love all things Japan. So the whole Japanese kind of Stormblood theme that it's gone for is perfect for me. And I've actually been to a couple of places in Japan that literally look like that in real life. So it was really nostalgic for me to kind of see those kind of scenes. But really like the aesthetic, as I was saying. I think the mounts are better than the mounts in the previous one. So after the last one we got, what was it, the chair and Silky. But this time we've got the lantern, which, okay, it's a bit crazy. But the Criterion mount looks really cool.
But in hindsight, that also puts it into perspective how shit the first Criterion mount was, because the second Criterion mount, the one from this one, is amazing. It's really cool. And the compared to the chair, it's like, man, what were they doing?
So I'm gonna call out the elephant in the room and say I'm still not happy overall with the reward structure for Criterion specifically. The Variant Dungeon, I think, is perfect. Like, it's fun, it's easy content, there's lots of variety. There's actually quite a lot of rewards in Variant, if you think about it, because you've got the minions, you've got the cards, you've got the mounts, there's loads of pretty good rewards for the Variant Dungeon.
Sets.
The glamour sets. Absolutely.
Two different glamour sets. It's like the variant rewards are great for this tier.
I think so.
And it's all cosmetic stuff. It's all like visual fluff, like collector's stuff.
Yeah,
perfect.
I agree.
And then we have Criterion.
So I'm just really still gutted about Criterion rewards, because I am a huge fan of the basically hard 4-man content, so hard dungeons for 4, because a lot of people want to do difficult content, but they don't want to have to organize 8 people for raids, which can be quite intimidating. So the idea of having small scale hard content is really up my street. I think it's great. The problem is you do it once and there's no incentive or reward to repeat it. So people will do it once, get their clear, and I'm worried they just won't keep going back to it. They might farm it to get the mount, but once they've got the mount, I can't see people going back to it, just like what happened with the first one.
But don't you have like a currency on the Criterion dungeons?
Yeah,
because
but
for the variants,
you want to know what you can buy with the currency?
Yeah.
2 clears gets you a Framer's kit.
Okay.
25 clears, if you didn't buy the Framer's kit, gets you the mount. And then every other clear gets you a single Materia 10. That is the only thing you can buy with the currency.
So you can farm
Framer's kit,
Materia,
mount,
Christina.
Materia. Yeah. If you want to do
ask Omega for Materia.
if you want to do hard content that takes you about 30 minutes to do to buy a single Materia 10, go ahead. You got infinite replayability there. But yeah, it's really disappointing. We were hoping for some sort of alternate gear progression path, maybe like an intermediary step between the Tombstone gear and the Savage gear, maybe with not optimal stats, maybe like a subpar main stat and like a good secondary stat, to maybe on like the 650, 655 item level to kind of get you an intermediary upgrade path if you're not into Savage content, but you still want to gear up. Yeah. You know, something like that would be great. Because then you have the Savage version of the Criterion added onto the fact that the normal Criterion is hard. It's hard content. You clear it. There's a mount. It's very cool. And then you can do the Savage version, which is insane. It's incredibly difficult. And the reward is... I can't even remember what it is now. The last one had an earring, like an earring glamour. And this thing has something similar, if it's a hat or if it's a necklace or it's a pair of gloves or a pair of shoes, something like that. It's a single piece of glamour. That's it. That's the only thing you can get that is exclusive from the Savage version.
The only reason you do it is just for bragging rights, to say, okay, I cleared it, I've got the achievement, and then you wouldn't go back. Another alternative, if Square Enix are so against like putting good gear rewards in Criterion, if they're really against that, that's fine. What they could do is just put in the upgrade materials. So you get a weekly cap in Criterion where you can only get one a week, and you get one of the upgrade materials for the Savage raid gear. So at least that way you have a reason to do Criterion every week just to get another upgrade material. You could do something like that. You don't have to go all the way and say, okay, we'll put raiding gear in there. But I just think it's a missed opportunity, because I think the content is amazing. The fights are really fun. It's a great challenge. But you do it once, you get your mount, and then you never go back in there. And I just think it's a missed opportunity.
Do something like Soul Hollows, where you have this special currency already, and just have a vendor buy or sell you things with this currency that's like cool and unique, and you can only get it from this vendor. There's nowhere else in the game you can get it, and you know, all of a sudden you have a lot of people running other content that isn't just roulettes and Savage.
Yeah, I was just curious because, but I think that was also with the variant and not with the Criterion, that the last one had some glamour as well. And
variant has glamour.
You could sell the glamour on the market board, so even if you already have it, you could still make a good bunch of money out of it by just doing it. But they don't have that for Criterion. Then
no, it's
the variant glamour. The variant glamour chest from the last dungeon, like the first one, sells for about $1 million. Ask Saker how I know that much. He gave it to my alt just so I didn't have to look like shit.
But yeah, I think the rewards in variant are good, Cristina, because the glamours are there. And you either do it for yourself to keep the glamour, or you can sell the glamour and make some money out of it. I think the variant dungeon is perfect. Like, I think they've nailed it.
Yeah.
It's just the Criterion that's missing a trick.
There is nothing good at Criterion rewards except for the mount.
Only the mount.
Just the mount.
Mount and bragging rights. Mount
is the mount sellable?
Yes, the mount is sellable.
See, then you can just repeat it and sell the mount.
Yeah. Like day one, mount sold for 200-300 million gil easy. I'm not sure how many actually sold, but they were on the market board for that much. yesterday I checked, they were down to like 50 million. The amount from the previous one, the Sildine variant, sells still for like 10-15 million. The only problem is there's like a tiny chance to actually get it as a drop from the final boss. Otherwise, you have to do 25 runs of a dungeon that takes you, if you're good, about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of farming, difficult content to get.
To get one item to sell.
Yeah. But it is doable. It's definitely something you can do, and if you think it's funny, that's great.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I'm not
Baddy-
gonna do it.
So Baddy, obviously you've done the variants. I think you've added some experience there. Have you ever set foot in the Criterions yet? Have you thought about it?
Never. It's on my to-do list, but at the moment I have other priorities.
We'll say.
Let me guess, maps. Maps and
Oh,
fates.
fishing.
Maps and fishing.
I should have said
Fishing.
And
I will say-
collecting triple triad cards, so I have to do Virant.
There are
couple
triple
of
threat
times.
cards in the variant.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
I already got one.
Oh,
Me
nice,
too.
nice. Yeah, we'll say on the topic of Criterion, if the previous one is hard, like the first Sildine, it was hard. It was hard content when it came out, when you didn't have gear for it. It's still pretty hard content to do now, even though it has like you're scaled down to 635 gear, which is very, very good for previous patch, but outdated now. It's still kind of hard. Like the mechanics are hard, but you're overgearing it. You're outgearing it most of the time now. So damage checks aren't nearly as difficult.
And don't get me wrong. I really want to finish it one day.
Yeah.
I just
like-
have other priorities at the moment.
Oh yeah, no, that's not what I'm saying. But the comparison between the previous one, the Sildine, another Sildine subterrane, and this one, the Mount Rockon Criterion. Oh my God, it's hard. Jesus
I've heard
Christ, this Criterion, the first trash pull had us hard wall for 40 minutes when we went in blind.
Whoa.
The first trash pull before the final boss took us 40 minutes to develop a strategy for clearing. And then the actual boss had us stuck for another couple of hours. I've killed the first boss, almost killed the second boss. The second trash pull is a little bit easier, but it's also very, very, very hard.
Yeah.
The third boss I haven't even looked at yet, but I struggle with the guy who is the third boss. I struggle with his variant dungeon version, the normal version of him. I struggle very hard with that boss on the easy difficulty. So looking forward to that. It is hard.
Yeah.
Now I
But
kind
it's
of
fun.
want to
It's a
do
ton
it.
of fun. It is a ton of fun. I promise you. It's
One
great.
day, Cristina. One day.
I want to do it as a healer now.
So I heard that, obviously I haven't done the Criterion yet. Obviously we stepped foot in there, we had a look at it, but I heard that with the first Criterion, the last boss was the hardest boss, technically. But in this Criterion, I heard that the first boss is one of the hardest bosses, and that, in fact, the trash mobs at the beginning are just as hard as the bosses.
The first trash pull,
Yeah.
easily one of the most difficult encounters, like single encounters I've done in the game, not counting like savage raids, but it is very hard. There's a solid strategy for it though. The first boss is hard. It has a lot of mechanics that are incredibly tight and requires a lot of like quick spotting of like small details that tell you like what is the microscopic safe spot that you have to be in. Oh, and you also have to stack and or spread in that microscopic safe spot. It's like it happens like that. You got to be on point. So the first boss is definitely hard. The second one is a bit easier. Third boss I haven't even looked at yet.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely be diving into Criterion pretty soon now that I've finished the variant. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure I'll be dragging you along, Hennek, no doubt.
For sure.
We'll be getting
I gotta get that mount.
I'm gonna heal.
25 kills on this dungeon, so I'm gonna be in there for a while.
But Cristina, you did well on the previous one. You got all the way to the last boss, didn't you, Cristina? So it's just the last boss that you haven't done.
Yeah. We just gotta come back for cleanup and do that.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for those friends that were in my static group to invite me to do it again.
If only there was someone else who could invite. Like the person who wanted to do it. No,
So let's
fine.
So let's do a wrap up for Variant Criterion. I want all of you guys to give me a rating out of 10 for, let's just say, the Variant Dungeon. It was a Criterion, we haven't all experienced it yet, but for the Variant Dungeon, out of 10, what are you giving Mount Rockon?
9.5.
Wow,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm honestly on a 9 as well. I think the layout is great. The bosses are great. The mid boss is fantastic. The halfway, the halfway boss is amazing. I'm sad it's not in the Criterion. Great. Final bosses, great. Different notes, the different paths, the secrets, all great.
Yeah,
rewards,
absolutely.
great.
Great rewards indeed.
Yeah, rewards, great.
Layout's great.
Yeah,
What would you give
definitely,
it?
definitely get in there if you haven't already.
Well, I've only done one run so far, so I'm rating it. It's pretty difficult for me, but I would say 8.5, 9 maybe.
Good first impression. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd definitely give it a solid 9. I mean, I'm even struggling to think what would make it a 10. I'm not sure really, because I can't really fault the Variant Dungeon. It's pretty perfect. But yeah, so definitely up there at around the 9 region for sure for me. There is one last thing I want to mention, and then we'll move on to the next topic, which is that on the reward thing around Criterion, I wonder whether later on, when they've introduced the third Criterion and variant, maybe what they'll do is make it so that you have to run each of them once and you get an item from each of them, a bit like how the Alliance raids work with the coins. And so every week you do each of them once, you get an item from each of them, and you can trade those items in for something. I don't know, but maybe they'll do something.
I have my own theories about what they're gonna do after they release the third one, but let's save that so we don't drag on this forever.
Sure thing. Okay, let's move on to the next topic then. So our favorite quest line in the game, which is Hildebrand. So
I love Hildebrand.
I love Hildebrand as well.
Oh, you mean escape, skip cutscene? Yes.
No.
Are you
Why
kidding?
would you skip that?
I started
Skips
watching
everything. She didn't even skip Hildebrand. She skips
I
everything.
started it, and after like 2 or 3 quests in the Endwalker areas, I started skipping.
Why?
No. Those cutscenes are so epic.
Also, the
It's
parts
not for
from
me.
Endwalker and further are better than all the previous ones.
No.
Yes,
much.
they are.
No.
Yes,
no,
they
no.
are. They are.
So I'll tell you
It is
something, right?
not for me.
So let me give you my opinion on Hildebrand, okay? So I've done all the Hildebrand quests, so I'm all up to date with them. And like at the beginning, when I first started doing them, I thought, okay, it's a bit of silly fun, the silly humor, slapstick comedy. Okay, I can get with this. But after doing it for 5 expansions, whatever, I'm literally done with the Hildebrand. I can't do it anymore, man. The slapstick is too much. And the thing I think about, right, is that I've been to Japan a few times, and I know that in Japan they love like slapstick humor. That's big over there. You see it sometimes in anime and stuff where it's just crazy stuff happening, right? So I feel like it's one of those content where they've westernized a lot of the storylines and the dialogue. I feel like with this they were like, no, we're not going to westernize it. We're just keeping it slapstick, and the Westerners are going to have to come on board with it. And like,
That is for us.
It's like it was fine for the first 3 or 4 expansions, but now I just skip the cutscenes. I can't do it
No.
I
Hildebrand is
have
just
a
fucking
question.
Awesome.
I have a question for you, Belle. How
Yeah.
many of the Hildebrands did you actually watch, and how much of the Hildebrand did you skip?
But that's what I'm saying. Up until the last 2 patches, I've watched every cutscene. And yes, there's some ridiculously crazy cutscenes in there, and I can see how they're funny in like a slapstick kind of way. But it's because I've seen so much of it now that I'm just
Okay, but you
I've
didn't
reached my
watch the
limit.
last. You didn't watch
last
the
2
last
patches I
cutscenes.
haven't. No.
Oh my god! But
it's
you
so
need
good.
to do it because it's the fucking biggest thing. It's such a
that bloody what's his name? The poo-poo little alien man.
yeah, poo poo. He's so cute. I want to have a poo
I think I
poo.
got him. I think I got him as a reward from the quest.
Oh,
Yeah.
you sure you didn't sell him?
I don't think you can.
I don't think you can sell him.
I'll add on to that this Hildebrand questline introduced the single worst addition to anything Final Fantasy XIV that I have ever seen in the you have to go to this zone and kill a mob to get a drop
Right.
part of the
Oh,
quest.
yes, yeah.
That is
Kill the turtle with
on
20,000
patch day?
people there.
on patch day, that was the worst experience I have had in this game, I think ever. the people were LFGing. There were full parties of 8, like 40 parties with 8 people in each party, just killing these fucking turtles the second they spawned.
I didn't have any
I had to
problems.
switch. No, if you came back like 2 days later, it wasn't a problem.
Yeah.
I was there on patch day as well, and I was on voice chat with you, Hennek, and I said,
Yeah.
do you have to kill this turtle to get that? And you were like, yeah, and I was like, oh shit. But then after like 2 minutes, I was lucky that they popped a turtle right under me. I killed it, and all the other people were like, what the fuck?
I was there for, I
Sorry.
think, 15 minutes. If I had been alone and not in a party, I would have been there all day. I got lucky, and somebody else in my party killed it, and everybody in the party got the drop, so we were free. But
I was
I had
alone,
to
though.
switch class to be on something else that had like an ability that if I press it, it instantly deals damage. Because on Summoner, my Ruin spell has like a cast time. No, the bomb was already dead by the time that finished casting. I had to swap to
You
like
needed instant-
something with
you
a
needed
dash.
Alith-Cast DPS.
Yeah, I had
You
to
need a
swap to
bard.
Warrior and just use the Warrior dash to just tag them before they died. But even then, it was like just pure luck.
If you're a
Horrible
white-
experience.
If you're a white mage, just use a size. Just hit.
Yeah, exactly. Now, if you do it now, not a problem. They even added in 2 extra instances to cover for the fact, and that's good for hunt trains and all S ranks and all that kind of stuff. But on patch day, awful, worst experience.
I'm surprised they haven't learned from that, because this is not the first time that's happened where they've put something in the quest where you literally have hundreds of players like camping a spot. It's weird that they keep doing that because they can avoid it. But I guess
Other
they figured-
MMOs
Yeah.
stopped doing that 10 years ago because they realized it was stupid.
They have
guess-
indeed added the instances later on Tuesday.
They added
because-
it. They added it later. Yeah, when it launched, it had only a single instance. They added it
maybe
like
they-
either the day after or later in the evening.
Maybe they just keep it like that because every time such things happen, a lot of people make a bunch of memes about it.
Drama.
But they're
Because
not happy memes.
I did not. I
happy
did not
memes.
had the same
No.
experience as you did, Hennek, but I heard about that specific thing because the entire Facebook groups and whatever were full of it. And I was like, oh, so maybe it's some weird way of Square Enix to, I don't know, publicity or something.
Yeah, but it's like Sart saying in the actual text chat right now. It's like you're doing the Bosha relics, and you have to do Fates and Heaven's Ward, and you're on your way to see it. You see a Fate just popped up. Oh, it's a boss Fate, and then some guy just rides in on his blue mage, freezes it, instantly kills it. Fate's dead. Oh, you didn't get any progression because you were too slow. It's that same feeling all over again. It's so dumb. I hate it.
Well,
Just
I think
instance that type of content if you're gonna do it.
We'll move on to the next topic, but Christina, maybe I'll watch the YouTube videos. I'll watch the cutscenes back at some point. I can't.
Oh,
promise,
you
but I
need to
might.
do it.
I might
It's a big plot twist, and I want to say so much about it, but I don't think I can because I will be spoiling everything. But I'm like, oh, you gotta watch it.
We'll have to do
It
a
was
Hildebrand
amazing.
Also not-
episode. A Hildebrand episode.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, yes.
Story recap with Cristina.
Yes, and I'm still considering about going to the fan fest as Nashu and Hildy with
I
Omega.
said you should do it.
Yeah.
I
Omega,
know,
if you're
Where's the
listening,
debate?
you've
Where's the
got
doubt?
to go.
Just
But
go.
cosplay, man, cosplay is expensive.
Yeah. Not if
Right,
you're
guys.
cosplaying Scrappy
see.
Hildy. He's half naked.
Let's move on to the next topic, which is closely related, which is the relic weapon upgrade. So I did the so luckily I'd capped my tomestones because yes, the next relic upgrade is once again tomestones. I have mixed feelings about this whole tomestone business with the relics because on the one hand I miss the creativity that we used to have where the relic weapons quest would force you to go and do other content with other people, and it was quite fun to go and revisit old content and stuff. So I do miss the variety that we used to have with the relic quests. So on that side, I'm a bit frustrated with the more tomestones. But on the flip side, I get that it does encourage players to do roulettes more. It encourages players to go and run their weekly roulettes and tomestone stuff with each other. I get that. So I think I know why they're doing it, but I think it's a little bit lazy. But I'm gonna do it anyway, and
The third step in a row being more tomestones it just feels like the next step is also going to be tomestones, and the final step is also going to be tomestones. That's how it
They
feels
only
right
did
now.
this to keep the A rank trains running.
Oh yeah, but I mean the A
Oh,
rank trains
yeah.
are super loaded right now. Everybody's doing them because
Yep.
you need tomestones. You get 320 per train, so you need to do 5 trains to buy 1 relic. That's great. Oh, it takes you like 1 day per relic. It's great for like the collectors.
Yeah.
But
I kind of forgot to get my tombstones, so on Tuesday I was like, oh geez, I'm short like 200. And I just got on the first train, got my tombstones, got my relic, and then I was like, oh duh, it doesn't look like, I don't like it, and I instantly glamored it again with my augmented daima.
Have you got the latest relic weapon, Bal? You don't like the glamour of the newest
I don't
one?
like the glamour of it.
we have the bard bow.
Yeah, with the green and yellow color.
Summoner book, design-wise, amazing. I love it. It's great. It's fantastic. It's probably one of my favorite actual summoner glams in the game. I just hate how boring it is to get it.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like an accomplishment at all. I don't feel like I have created a powerful relic. I feel like I've just grinded roulettes for a few days.
Tombstones,
yeah, exactly. I haven't done anything to deserve this.
So, but as far as I can see this now, I am the only person out of us 4 being completely happy and satisfied with all the relic weapons because they look amazing. Then the fact that I can get them so easily by just grinding tombstones, because to be honest, if I want to start doing the Realm Reborn or Heavensward relics, nobody is doing them. Nobody is doing them.
So they were a pain back then, and they're a pain now.
It's gonna be like fucking impossible for me to get these relics, and now I can be like, look, Omega, I got my Scholar relic weapon. And he'll be like, but I got my Paladin weapon. And then I can be jealous because he has a Paladin, and we can do it on the same level, you know, because otherwise everyone is like, look at my cool weapon. And I'm like, nice, still working on a Realm Reborn. See you in here,
but also, on that note, it like kills the brag factor for it. Like if you see a cool relic, you'll be like, oh shit, that's the Eureka weapon. Oh my god, it looks so good. Maybe I should go do Eureka. But now you just see the newest Reaper relic, and it's like, cool, that's the next 1500 tomestones I'm gonna spend to get the Reaper weapon.
Yeah, that's true.
Cool, I guess. And then you'll just all have the same weapon.
Yeah, I agree with that. But the trouble is, to Christina's point, is that it's really hard to find people who's willing to go back and do all that old content, even for the relics. And so you get in a situation where you want to get those bragging rights, but you've got nobody who's willing to do it with you.
Yeah.
So it's a tricky conundrum. For
sure. I also think it's because Square Enix had mentioned that they wanted to make Final Fantasy XIV playable as a solo person.
Yeah.
And I don't think, I mean, I know it's not possible to go to Eureka or whatever as a solo person.
Oh, it is, but it's awful.
It's horrible.
The only problem is you have to play warrior. You can only play warrior, but you can definitely do it solo.
Sounds boring as well.
Yeah, it is boring as well.
So in terms of how the relic weapons look, so I got the white mage staff straight away. Obviously, I'd capped my tomestones before the patch. I like it. I like the fact that it's white and red, because I'm always dressed in white because I'm a classic white mage. So yeah, the relic weapon's white and red. It's got a nice glow effect. So yeah, I like how it looks. I'm using it. I haven't glammed it. It's pretty cool. But yeah, on balance, I would like more variety when it comes to those quests, but we can hope.
I would have wished, actually, because, 1,500 tomestones to get them, that's cool. You get them just for the glamour. But then you have the stat allocation aspect of this tier also, which, you could have added a grind or something to do for that, for the stat allocations. Yeah. You get, like, the base weapon for 1,500 tomestones, but to actually make it powerful, you need to do whatever content they decide to do.
Yeah, they did that previously.
Yeah, exactly. Let's not do the Heavensward one, because that system was terrible. But something that isn't just 1,500.
Just add that you have to run a Variant dungeon to get an item to upgrade it.
Yeah, for example.
I think they might, because on this part of the new relic, you could select which things that you wanted, like Chris and yeah. So I think that they will add something to adjust it, because I was kind of disappointed, because I was like, and it was even Bad who told me then, and some other people from the FC, I was so happy with my new Scholar weapon, and I was thinking like, oh, it's so pretty and whatever, and then I was looking at the stats, and the relic is not as good as the book that I already had. And then I was like, okay, no problem. I'm just gonna place it in my armory, in my glamour dresser, and I'm just gonna glamour it. And then I was like, fuck, I cannot even put this book in my glamour dresser.
No, that's
like,
the weirdest thing.
You can't put it in your glamour dresser, but it's not better than the book that I already had.
It kind of is better because its base stats are higher than the lower weapons that there are now.
This is how it works. Tomestone is the best you can get right now. Or actually, Abyssal Savage weapon is the best you can get. Upgraded Tomestone, second best. Normal Tomestone, Relic, Golbez, crafted up high quality weapon. That is the tier list right now. Relic is and always has been a catch-up mechanic until the final tier, in which point it becomes the best weapon. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's actually better than the Abyssal's weapon or whatever, the Anabaseos weapon. I think it is going to be better, but it has always been lagging slightly behind whatever the actual top weapon is.
Yeah.
So it isn't meant to be the best thing you can get for the patch that it's released in. It's meant to be something that is, you can get it to get back into the game maybe if you haven't played for a bit, or to gear up other jobs or whatever. So
yeah,
it's great for alternate jobs, but for your main job, if you have the Tomestone weapon, it's not going to be better.
Well, here's the craziest thing, right? We've only got one patch left to go, and then we're off to 7.0. So we're probably going to get, because we'll get the we'll get 6.5 next, and I assume that will come with another relic upgrade, because there isn't. I don't think there's anything past 6.5, is there, patch-wise?
6.55 should be the final tier. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there should be a 5.5. So I think we'll have 1.5 more patches.
Yeah, but I think we'll get one more upgrade step is what I'm saying. So
it should end on 6.65. It should end on the same item level as the P12S weapon.
And it's going to be Tomestones again, for sure. I mean, why would they
100%. Definitely. It's just going to be Tomestones.
Okay. All right. Well, the final topic, guys, and then we'll wrap it up, is just the relic crafting tools, so the Splendorous tools. So I'll give my take really quickly. So I've always done the relic crafting tools. I did the Skysteel ones. I did all of my crafting tools and gathering tools Skysteel, and I really like that design. It's like a blue kind of dragon scale effect to it, which is really cool. And I've done the Splendorous tools up to the last patch. So obviously now we've got the new patch, the next upgrade. I haven't started it yet, but I have seen what it looks like. And all they've basically done is, so the last Splendorous tool upgrade that we got made them it has that blue crystalline effect to it. And with this upgrade, they've basically added a red shine to it. So I'm not really, from a glamour perspective, I'm not really sure that it's a big upgrade from the last step, but I am going to do it at some point when I've done everything else. Has anyone else here touched relic crafting tools or gathering tools?
I only touched the fishing.
No.
The fishing rod, and that's because there is only certain fish that you can catch while using the relic.
Oh, that's neat, at least.
Yeah, so if you want to complete the fishing log, you have to do the Splendorous.
Right.
Now I hate Fisher more. I didn't touch any of those big things, but I do want to mention that I got all my crafters to level 80. It's not 90 yet, but it's. I'm getting there. Slowly but steady. And a big thanks to my hubby Omega, because he helped me very hard with it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you do much crafting, Hennek?
All of 6.4 was just crafting. The launch day of 6.4 was just getting high quality crafted gear. I have the previous, at least the botanist and the miner relics. I haven't done the latest one because there's other stuff that I think are actually fun to get. I think the process of actually getting them are kind of they're on the opposite spectrum of the battle relics, where it's it's too grindy to get them. It's just a repetitive grind, really.
There's too much effort.
I mean, it's
It
not
is
even
very
effort. It's
repetitive.
literally just standing like the 6, whatever the previous tier was like sit around in Lakeland and just farm these things for fucking 3 hours. It took forever, but it was it was free, but it was just boring.
It is just repetitive. It's not difficult to max out your relic crafting tools. It's really
Completely
easy.
drained my high cordial supply. That's the only problem I had with it.
I'll tell you what I have got. I've got the gold gathering tools that you get, which are really difficult to get, and those glams are really cool. You have to you have to like fish like 1 million fish, and you have to cut down like 1 million trees or whatever, and you get like the gold.
I have the gold fish rod.
I think they're called resplendent gathering tools, and they're really cool. So I do it, but I do it just for the glam. I don't actually use them.
Sure.
They're literally just for glam. Yeah.
I think the moment where I will start doing that stuff on my crafters and gatherer is the moment where I am just so burned out or brain dead, and there is nothing left in the game to do except that, and I'm forced to do it because if I don't do that, I did everything in the game.
That's going to burn you out even more because, like Hennek said, it's mind-numbing.
Bad thing to say for last.
Repetitiveness. Yeah.
But
it's worth it for the glam. It's worth it for the glam.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up there. So we said we'd try and do it in 30. We did it in 43. I don't think that's too bad. I don't think it's too bad.
No, it's within reasonable limits.
Within reasonable time frame. So closing comments, guys. I guess for the whole patch, 6.45. Let's give it our final rating as a patch, for a minor patch anyway. I'm gonna give it out of 10. Obviously, variant and criterion boosts that score up quite a bit. Oh, do you know what we didn't? Do you know what? Actually, we didn't talk about Blue Mage.
Blue Mage.
I can see people just sit here simmering. Didn't want to say anything.
Maybe let's give a one-liner from each of us on Blue Mage. So, God. So I've jumped back into it. I've leveled up to 80. I'm now farming the spells, farming those goddamn spells. So I'm doing it, but it's painful. I think it was fun at the beginning. It was novelty. It was interesting. Now it feels like a chore for me, Blue Mage. But I'm going to do it just for completion's sake. So that's my take on Blue Mage. What's everyone else's thoughts?
Wait, Belle, are you a completionist?
I am.
No.
Yeah, I'll try and complete everything.
Then why the hell did you sell the damn puppy? Because you want to complete all the minions. You have to obtain all the
one
minions.
Day when I want to do all the minions, I'll get it again.
I do not
sell
get
high,
this guy.
buy low.
I do not get this guy. But okay. Anyway, I haven't touched Blue Mage. It's boring as hell, and I just get burned out because Omega is doing the Blue Mage quests every single week. And I had to laugh yesterday because we were talking about it in a voice chat, and Belle was talking about it with me. And then Omega said like, oh, I only do the weekly job quests. And Belle was like, man, who the fuck does that? Nobody does that.
Who does the weekly Blue Mage content? Like, honestly. It's just boring. I find it boring as well, yeah. Sorry, Hennek, go on.
Yeah, no. I hated Blue Mage until I actually tried it. Then I loved Blue Mage. Ran out of content for it. Haven't touched the new stuff, but will get into it when I run out of other stuff in 6.4 and onwards. It's one of those like downtime activities when I've got nothing else really better to do.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm using it as filler content just to keep me busy when I've got nothing else to do, for sure. Bad, have you done any Blue Maging? Oh, you have, of course you have.
I got a power level from one of our FC members and got to 80 in like 20 minutes. So I'm returning the favor to others if they want to. I like it, but yeah, the spell gathering is kind of time consuming, and I don't have much time at the moment.
Yeah, I will say it is kind of fun. I will secretly say that I was kind of starting to have fun going and doing some of the older dungeons with other Blue Mages. It was quite nice to visit some of those old dungeons and trials, but it is very grindy, just trying to get all those
I do
spells.
find it kind of disappointing that there's only 3 open world spells now this round.
Yeah, most of them are now dungeons and old raids, which is interesting, in trials. So you have to get grouped together, and it takes time. It is a bit of a grind, but I will do it. I'll do it for completion's sake. And I want to get.
It is Party Finder content.
It is Party Finder content, absolutely.
Yeah.
I was saying to Spicy earlier, I went into the Party Finder earlier today, and I went through all the tabs, dungeons, trials, raids, and it was literally Blue Mage, Blue Mage, Blue Mage.
Oh,
Blue
yeah.
Mage. Everyone's just farming the spell book.
Yeah.
So it is nice that it's getting people to go and do old content again together, but it feels a little grindy in that sense. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
I like that it's there. It's nice extra content for people who aren't interested in doing like the hard end game
true.
content. They have something else to do. They have the crafters and gatherers. We have the savage raiders. We have the whatever housing mains do, and then we have
Island
blue mages.
Sanctuary.
Yeah, Alien Sanctuary is also another.
You know what the real grind is? Moogle treasure trove.
I was
Blue Mage
really
party.
thinking.
Yes, that is the end game of playing blue
I
mage. Yeah, of
thought
course.
you were gonna say fishing, Bat. I don't know
No,
why.
no,
I
no.
thought you were gonna say fishing.
People play blue mage just to be prepared for the next treasure trove.
Yep.
That's true.
Indeed. All right, guys. Well, we've covered
Right.
Blue Mage, so there we go. We managed to get it covered. So yeah, closing comments, guys. Let's give the whole patch a rating out of 10. I'll go first. So I thought the variant criterion was great. I thought the Blue Mage content was actually a good Blue Mage patch. I don't care about Hildebrand. Relic was okay. So I'd give it like a solid 7.5 out of 10 for me. I think for this patch. What's everyone else thinking?
I mean, same. Variant criterion is just enough to put it on 10 for me. But again, just Hildebrand and all that kind of stuff does nothing for me. I'm disappointed in Tomestones.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they added Blue Mage. Haven't even touched it yet. The relic crafting tools. I don't know if I'm gonna touch them, but probably at some point. So all in all, like it just adds a little bit extra content, but it's so kind of niche content. So it's like if you're into that content, 10 out of 10. If you're not into that content, it's a worthless patch. It doesn't give you anything new to do.
I'm gonna push you.
So
for
like
score, you've got to give it.
Yeah, like
score.
a 7.5, 8 is like for me personally, because it adds stuff that I want to do actually.
Yeah.
And then it adds some bad stuff.
Cristina, what are you giving it?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a main story patch, whatever, but it's basically the first time, or one of the first times, that there has been a patch that I really, 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 really enjoyed. Because I love Hildebrand, and I don't care what anybody else says, and I know the entire FC knows that I'm crazy as fuck, so I don't care. I love Hildebrand. If Hildebrand was a real person, I would marry him. Sorry, Omega. But, I mean, he's amazing. He makes me laugh. He's crazy. All good. I love the plot twist. I just, yeah. And I also love the new variant dungeon. I love the fact that I finally obtained a rare minion on my second run. I don't give a shit about Blue Mage, but my boyfriend is happy with Blue Mage, so extra points as well. Yeah, I'll give the patch a 10, even though I don't give a fuck about.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
I loved it. I loved it. I really loved it.
That's fair. I mean,
Great.
if you really enjoyed it and really enjoyed the
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love the relics. I love the relics. I love the Hildebrand stuff. I love the variant dungeon. So yeah, a 10.
Nice. And Batty, last but not
I'm
least,
gonna
what are you
score it a
thinking?
little bit lower because I like the Hildebrand quests, Blue Mage, and the variant dungeons, but they could have done a little bit more different things to make it more attractive.
So what score are you gonna give it, Batty?
8.5.
Oh,
that's good.
Still a strong score.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
But
Good,
you're still
okay.
my friend. Belle, Hennek. I don't want to talk to you guys
We're still
anymore.
friends. Hey, I dragged you
No.
through variant. I dragged you through variant, didn't I?
Okay, and I will drag you through Manderville. I will
Oh,
force you. I will
an even trade.
tie you up. I will tie you up on a chair with a ball in your mouth and all these ropes, and I
How much
will
you
let
paying
you
me?
watch
Okay, well,
it.
it's
I'll
still
let you
not
watch
after
it.
dark yet.
Indeed. All right, guys, we'll wrap it up there. But yeah, thanks once again, guys, for joining us. For those of you guys that have watched it on YouTube, hope you had fun reflecting on the 6.45. Hope you're enjoying the 6.45 content. Like Hennek said earlier, make sure to follow the channel, put the notifications on, so that you get pinged when we have a surprise episode like this. And I think the next time you guys see us, we will probably be talking about the FanFest announcements, which is going to be pretty exciting. So yeah, we may well be talking about the next big expansion, which is big news. So yeah, thanks guys for joining.
Thank you.
Thanks
And,
for coming.
Thanks.
We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
See you next
Definitely.
time.